I want to be in old New Hampshire. I want to go. Hi, I'm Ruth Craig. I'm the editor of the New Hampshire Genealogical Record. I'm here to talk to you about volume 34, number 3, fall 2022. Fall is just starting. The students just came back. I'm in Hanover, New Hampshire, in a cemetery, which is Dartmouth College is right over there. And I'm here to tell you the issue that's about to come out is all about cemeteries. So one of the articles by Virginia Hanson is about a cemetery in Belknap County. It's the Belknap County Farm Cemetery. And this article represents an amazing amount of work on Virginia's part, because about half of the stones in the cemetery don't have any name or any information engraved on the stone. It's just numbered. So the other half do have the names, and she's outlined all those, but she's also figured out who all the other roughly 60 people were who were buried in the Belknap County Farm Cemetery. It's just an amazing feat. We also have an article by George Varney. This is the third in a 3-part series on the Danforths, who started more on the east coast of New Hampshire and were working down to 2 sons of the second wife of Jedediah Danforth of Boscawen. There was another man that he disambiguated that lived in the neighboring town of Canterbury. But these are 2 sons of his second wife that are being followed in this article. The first son had 8 or 9 children, and the second son had 3 or 4. And these children spread far and wide. I think only one of them died in New Hampshire. One died in Vermont, some died in New York, Michigan, and quite a few of them even died in Canada. And the reason I say 8 or 9 is because one of them, there's no direct evidence for parentage, but George Varney has made a proof of parentage by one of the aspects was that this fellow was buried in the same cemetery as relatives, and then together with other components provided enough indirect evidence to suggest that he was the son of Willis Danforth. Now, third, we have the Wildwood Cemetery in Seabrook, New Hampshire, which the cemetery has been transcribed by Paula Fowler, and her collaborator, James Smith, has made maps of the entire cemetery. And so this is a series of articles, and this is the end of the first series. There's going to be another article because people keep, additional people keep being buried there. But this is the final in our first series. And there's a whole incredible section of maps. So if you have any relatives buried in the Wildwood Cemetery in Seabrook, you will be able to find them. The maps show there's a big map showing the whole cemetery where all the different sections are. And then there are section maps showing where different family plots were. So you can go there and you'll be able to find all your family plots and go and see their graves. And then finally, we have an article by Sean Furness. This is the second part in a 2-part series of abstracts of the transcribed records of the expenses of the overseers of the poor in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And many of these transcribed records, well, they provided food and clothing for the people that were impoverished. but many of them, it was providing for their coffins, their funerals. A coffin was about $3 to $4. A bill for a sexton or a horse was about $2.69. And then sometimes the paid mourners, the so-called underbearers, the paid bearers, was $2.40. So this is a really very cool issue all about cemeteries. This is the Dartmouth Cemetery. These slabs that you see behind me are let's see now, these here. Yeah, this is the founder of Dartmouth College, Eliezer Wheelock. That the one that's standing up is him, and then there are these two slabs, him and his wife. And it's very interesting. Actually, some years ago, these were not the original gravestones. The originals were buried. The original slate gravestones were buried underneath, and they were found and they were excavated, and now they're in the special collections library at Dartmouth. And next to him, the whole reason this cemetery was founded is that he lost his stepson, John Maltby, and because of that, he designated this land to be a cemetery. It's very prime land. It's right in downtown Hanover, right next to Dartmouth. But luckily, it was set aside as a cemetery. And an article was written about it in 2015. In 1928, the cheapest plots, you can't get a plot here anymore. And the only way you could be buried here is if there's still room in a family plot. But in 1928, you could get a plot for about $5, which would be about $68 in 1915, when the article was written. And you could even get up in 1960 for about $700, $800 in today's dollars. You could get enough for 12 people. So genealogists love graveyards. This graveyard is incredible. It goes down into ravines. Luckily, we have Wi-Fi here. I was here in the winter one time. I almost just tripped on the ice and went down a ravine, but luckily I would have been able to email somebody to come get me. So enjoy the issue and enjoy all your trips to cemeteries.